centuries ago, in the harshest deserts on Earth, an event unfolded that would forever alter the course of history. On that night, the moon, the brightest lantern in the sky, was split in two by a prophetic miracle. A celestial body that had remained unchanged for thousands of years was, according to Islamic belief, divided into two for a brief moment, giving rise to one of humanity's greatest mysteries. But what truly happened in Mecca that night? Is it simply a matter of faith, or did those who witnessed it actually see the sky torn apart? This is the story of one of the most controversial events of the 7th century, the miracle of the splitting of the moon. At the time, Mecca was far more than a desert settlement. It was a strategic crossroads at the heart of the Arabian Peninsula, where north met south and trade routes converged. Caravans from Damascus halted here. Goods from Yemen passed through its markets. The spice routes of the Indian Ocean all converged within this city. Mecca had mastered the advantage of its geography. At the center of this vast network stood the Quraysh tribe, the undisputed rulers of Mecca's economy and politics. They controlled the caravans, they defined the routes, they managed alliances across Arabia, and above all, at the heart of their power, stood the Kaaba. Yet the Kaaba was not just a place of worship. It was surrounded by 360 idols, each belonging to a different tribe. Lat, Uzza, Manat, the greatest deities of their time. By hosting these idols, the Quraysh bound the tribes of Arabia to Mecca. Every year during pilgrimage season, thousands journeyed across the desert, coming not only to worship, but to trade. The Kaaba had become both the spiritual and economic epicenter, and whoever controlled it controlled Arabia. Beneath this system lay the rigid structure of tribal society. In pre-Islamic Arabia, the age of ignorance, a person's worth was defined by a single question: which tribe do you belong to? If you were born into a noble tribe, you were protected. If you belonged to a powerful man, opportunity followed you. But if you had no tribe, you had no protection. And at the very bottom of this hierarchy, almost invisible, were the slaves. They were not seen as individuals, but as property, bought and sold in the markets of Arabia, without rights, without protection, without a voice. Another harsh reality of the age of ignorance was the practice of burying infant girls alive. In some tribes, the birth of a daughter was seen as a source of shame for the family. This practice became so widespread that it was addressed directly in the Quran. In Surah At-Takwir, a haunting question is posed. When the girl who was buried alive is asked for what sin she was killed, what answer will be given? This verse stands as a powerful reflection of the social structure of that time. Blood feuds were another unchanging truth of this society. If a member of one tribe was killed, retaliation was inevitable, and this cycle of vengeance could last for generations. One of the most well-known examples was the Battle of Duwad between the Aus and Khazraj tribes, a prolonged conflict that claimed thousands of lives over the years. It was within such a world that, in the year 610 CE, a man from one of Mecca's most respected families descended from a cave on Mount Hira, carrying a message the world had never heard before. God is one. Idols hold no power, and I am his messenger. That man was Prophet Muhammad. Until that moment, he had been known in Mecca as Al-Amin, the trustworthy. He was recognized for his honesty in trade and had earned deep respect within society over 40 years. But then came a night that changed everything. With the first revelation, Muhammad began to share his message. In the early years, this call was limited to a small circle. His wife Khadija, his cousin Ali, and his close friend Abu Bakr were among the first to believe. But after 3 years, a new revelation commanded him to proclaim the message openly. Said from that moment on, the balance in Mecca began to shift. Because this message was far more than a simple religious debate for the Quraysh. To declare that God is one meant rendering all 360 idols in the Kaaba meaningless. And if those idols lost their power, the pilgrimage would lose its purpose. Free, sovereign, and the Quraysh would lose their economic and political